So will Terra's awakening be changed within Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is one of the questions that I have coming off of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind trailer. Of course I could have made this video a lot sooner, however I wanted to talk about it in general, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So as you guys know, within the original version of Kingdom Hearts 3, right before Remind releases, and of course we get to see the many differences that will be had within Remind, if you remember, the way Terra was kind of foreshadowed was that Sora had met Namine in the final world, in which she spoke about getting a helping hand and stuff that would help them change Destiny once Destiny had been rewritten and the characters returned to the Keyblade Graveyard to try to face off against the 13 Seekers once again. She kind of pronounced to him that there will be someone that will aid them in their fight once Destiny is reset. And this other character was none other than the Lingering Will, although we didn't get to see too much of him. Although Remind does seem to have a change for that, in which we're going to actually get to see Terra'S versus the Lingering Will as they go for their round 2, which should have been in the fucking original game. Like, I would have rather had seen that and just see Aqua and Ventus come and give, like, you know, the Lingering Will a helping hand, potentially that type of scenario versus what we got. But with what we have, of course, we do know that Namine and Sora had this little conversation within the final world. Well, if we go off the theory that Sora will use a singularity to change Destiny once again, or change Kairi's destiny and potentially save her life, or maybe we're just going to see the events that led up to the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, what changed, although the ending will definitely be the same, in which all of the characters do get that happy ending with Sora disappearing, we're going to see what steps Sora took to reach that end in which he disappears. We see Sora and Namine having a discussion in which, at the very tail end of what we get to see, we see Sora say that if Ventus or Aqua get hurt, then it'll be bad news for Terra. This is obviously because he knows exactly what happened to get Terra's heart to come out of the darkest abyss in the first place. It was the little promise between Ventus and, of course, Terra that made his heart rise back up and, you know, kind of become strong again, strong enough that he was able to withstand the hold that Terra'S had on the Guardian, and he was able to actually get his body back. So with that being said, he knows these things now, but he also tells Namine to wait out of course the battle within the world of sea and sky. He also says that right there at the tail end. So instead of them meeting there, he's actually going to meet her within his very own heart in his station of awakening, in which maybe it does seem like something is going to change, because with the conversation of Terra even coming up, this makes me, or leads me to believe that this takes place sometime during the battle with Terra'S. If you remember, in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Namine speaks of the special connection between Sora and, of course, the Wayfinder trio, or the BBS trio. And I think that what's going to happen this time around is going to have something to do with that special connection. This is one of the things that really threw me for a loop when I played Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't really have a problem with the fact that they didn't go this exact route forward, or the route that they wound up taking, building off of these things, didn't wind up being something to where he actually truly did follow those connections, but rather those connections just led to him being able to save everyone in the manner in which it happened. Let me put it like that. In the manner of which it happened. But rather, it does seem like this time around he actually will follow those connections in the same way how Namine pronounced, or Data Namine I should say, pronounced within Kingdom Hearts Recoded. And I think that that's a good thing, because obviously they built up to it for a very long time. Even though we may have to get like this little retcon little route for it, it is kind of cool if they do actually wind up doing something like this. And one of the things I feel like they could potentially do is that they're probably going to show exactly why Sora is connected to all of these characters in the first place, and how these connections may in fact work. And he could potentially use that to reach out to Terra in the darkest abyss and save him. Or potentially what we could see could actually be another moment, kind of like what happened with Ventus. If you remember, when Aqua was going to be struck down, Ventus, of course, and Sora had this huge moment in which Sora was pulled into his station of awakening because Ventus had called out to him to ask him to use his power of awakening to awaken him so he can save Aqua. And we know that when he was pulled here, that everything on the outside was still happening. So of course it isn't so special that time stops on the outside. Time does still continue to go forward. It's just that Sora has these moments and they seem to happen at a different pace relative to everything that's going on outside. So potentially what we could see could be the moment when Sora actually wound up closing his eyes when he was telling Terra'Nort to stop hurting Ventus and Aqua, and now what we're going to see is potentially exactly how Terra was actually revived, or how he was brought back. Because remember, right after the Guardian saves Ventus and Aqua, what does Terra'Nort say? How your heart fell into the abyss, or your heart fell into the darkness, something like that. And when he says this, of course, it made me truly start to think, well, if Terra has been the Guardian this whole time, why isn't it that this connection with Riku, I mean, we did see in Dream Drop Distance to where if Terra is in fact the Guardian, and he's the Guardian throughout all of the different versions of Xehanort, meaning Terra'Nort and Ansem, if he's the Guardian in both respects, then of course when he reaches out to Riku in Dream Drop Distance, that was one moment of him actually reaching out from the abyss. In this game, of course, I feel like what's going to happen is that, or in the DLC, I feel like what's going to happen is that the moment when Sora closes his eyes, we'll get to see to where Namine potentially tells Sora about the bridge between the two of them, and how Sora could potentially reach out into the darkness and get to Terra and pull him out, allowing us to get the events of what we saw. Because like I said in my other video talking about the cutscenes being rewritten, I really don't mind if that cutscene, the original cutscene from the original game, stays. It's just a matter of I want to see them build up more to it. So we already got the Lingering Will battle confirmed. Even if we only get to see it and not play it, it's already confirmed, so we at least will get to see it. And then of course we're going to get some new changes to Terra's Awakening. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this. This has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming and everything you do. Don't forget to keep it A-class, and peace the heck out. All this money I be staring